agree to our second lesson of our second day of the week, and that of course is math. We are going to continue working with the same skill we were working on yesterday, both solving addition problems two different ways to make the connection and see exactly what is happening when we add. So you are going to need a whiteboard out, just like yesterday, as we check out our learning target for Tuesday. It says, I can solve 2 and 3 digit problems using a drawing with the vertical way. So we are still going to practice our drawing skills along with the vertical way to show how we solved an addition problem. Yesterday, we were just practicing with 2-digit numbers. Today, we're going to start to bump it up piece by piece to add a 3 and 2-digit number together. We're going to work our way up to bigger problems slowly but surely, but still today really working to see what we're doing with drawing and the vertical way at the same time. So just like yesterday, you got that whiteboard out and you have 2 different sides of your whiteboard. You have one side where you can practice the vertical way, as well as the other side where you can show and do your drawing. I know it might get a little small, but do the best you can to have your vertical way on one side of your whiteboard or paper and have your drawing right on the other side. If you have 2 whiteboards or 2 pieces of paper, you can do that as well, as long as you are ready to get started right now. Okay, so let's take a look. The board looks a little bit different because we are adding with a 3-digit number, which means we're going to have ones, tens, and hundreds. We've only been working with 2, but once we add 3 digits, our next place we're working with is the hundreds. So your drawing, my friend, needs to have 3 place values: the ones, the tens, and the hundreds. Okay, so you don't need to worry about yet. You can fix it as we go, because we are going to tackle the problem 111 plus 79. So first things first, we want to set it up in the vertical way. So we're starting with 111. We want to make sure each digit is in its own place. So my friends, in 111, how many hundreds are there? How many hundreds? 1. Good job. How many tens? 1. And how many ones? 1. Exactly. We want to make sure to show each digit in its own place. Okay, now we're going to add 79. We have to pay extra close attention where we line up the numbers, because we had 3 digits and now we only have 2. So let's make sure we place them in the correct spot. Are there any hundreds in 79? Is there hundreds? No, there's not. So we're not going to put a number in the hundreds place. What about tens, super scholars? How many tens are in 79? 7, exactly. We need to make sure the 7 tens is lined up with the 1 10. And then next, we're looking at our ones column. How many ones are in 79? How many ones? There's 9 ones in 79. And these 9 ones need to be lined up with the 1 1. It's super important when we have these different number of digits to pay really close attention that you have ones and hundreds only. 79 doesn't have any hundreds, so we didn't use that space. Okay, we have our number all nice and set up in the vertical way, so let's start drawing. Okay, of course, first up, 111. Can you draw 111 in hundreds, tens, and ones? Can you do that on your own? Let's see. How does yours look? The same as mine? We already saw when we set up our number that there was how many hundreds? 1, tens, 1, ones, 1. There was just one of each. Good job. Okay, now can you draw 79? Go ahead and draw 79. Remember, it needs to be in its correct place. 79. How do you look? Remember, pause if you're not done. But I have 79. How many tens did we have? 7. And make sure, my friends, you've got 5 and 2 in your nice 10 frame. Then how many ones? 9, of course. And I've got 5 and 4 to show 9 in that 10 frame. Okay, so now that we've written vertical form, drawn our numbers in a drawing, let's start adding. Where do we always start when we add? The ones place, of course. So let's take a look. We have 1 1 and 9 ones. 1 plus 9, super scholars, is what? 10, of course. Those are pairs to 10. So what's going to happen when we add those ones together? We're going to be able to bundle to make the larger unit. So can you show that? We added 1 and 9 together. And what did we bundle? What did we make? We made 110. Exactly. Good job. Okay, we just added the ones together. Let's show that on our vertical form. So 1 plus 9. What did we make? 110. And where is that going to go? In the ones place? No, it has to go in the tens place. That we made a new 10. We're adding it to what we already have. Do we have any ones left over? No, we don't have any ones. So we just need to put a 0 to show there's no ones. Good job. Okay, so we added our ones. Next, we have to go to the next biggest value and add our tens. Let's see. We have 7. We were adding 1. We're going to add another one. What are we going to get? 7 plus 1 plus 1. 9 ones, of course. When we took our 1, added 7, and then the 10 that we bundled, we got 9 tens. Good job. And then, super scholars, did we add any hundreds? How many hundreds do we have? We still just have 1. We didn't add any hundreds, needs to change. Looking at our vertical way, we have 1 plus nothing. So we still just have 100. Nothing changed, but we still need to write down that we have that 100. It's still there, and it's part of our final answer. So what is our answer? It is 190. We got 190 by adding our ones, bundling to make a 10, adding our tens, and then keeping the same amount of hundreds. Awesome job, Super Scholars, on our first try bumping up those skills. Are you ready for another? Okay, reset. But before we get there, let's give ourselves an awesome break. So come on, stand up with me, and I have a fun art-themed question for you. Are you up? On your feet? Okay, Super Scholars, which of these fun materials do you love more? Do you prefer glitter? If so, you're going to do twists for 5 seconds. Or do you prefer sequins, those tiny little shiny dots? If so, you're going to do stretches for 5 seconds. So you got choice. Do you love glitter or sequins? What would you prefer? I love glitter. Even though it makes a mess, I love glitter. So I'm going to do twists for 5 seconds. Got your pick? Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. Shake it out, shake it out. Move that body. Get your wiggles out. And sit right back nice in your seat as we check out our next problem. Okay, mathematicians, we have 138 plus 57. So, what's first? We set up the vertical way, exactly. Okay, so we're starting with 138. So we need to write each number in its separate place. How many hundreds? 1. How many tens? 3. How many ones? 8, exactly. Each number is clearly separate in its own spot. So now we need to write 57 in its correct spots. Are there any hundreds in 57? Are there any hundreds? No, there's not. So are we going to write a number in the hundreds place when we write 57? No, we're not, because those numbers need to go in their own place, and there's no hundreds. So can you write, Super Scholars, on your whiteboard? Where is 57 going to go? Can you line up the numbers in their correct spot? 57. Can you write it down? Do you have 5 tens and 3 tens lined up in a row? Do you have the 7 ones and 8 ones lined up in a row? Because we don't want to confuse ourselves. We could only add those ones and only add those tens together. Okay, good job. So now that each number is in its own space, let's draw it out. Okay, can you draw 138? Remember, hundreds, tens, and ones, just as separate as our vertical way. Can you draw 138? Let's all do it. Here we go. if you're not done. But do you have 138 super scholars? How many hundreds? 1. How many tens? 3. How many ones? 8. How did you write your 8 ones? So you have 5 and then 3. Remember our 8, nice and clear. Okay, so we have what we're starting with. Now we need to draw what we're adding. Can you go ahead and draw 57? But remember, you need to draw 57 in the right place with the tens and the ones. Okay, let's draw 57. Here we go. What do you got? Finish up. And then we can check. How many tens? 5. And your ones? 7, exactly. Do we have our 7? We've got 5, and then 6, 7, and 2. 5 and 2 for our 7 ones. Okay, super scholars. We've set up vertically and drawing. Where are we going to start? What do we need to add first? The ones, of course. We always need to start with the smallest unit and add the ones. Let's take a look. We're adding 8 and 7. 8 and 7. Are we gonna have to bundle? Yes, we are. We're gonna have a big group of tens. We're gonna have a big group of ones, so we need to bundle. What exactly are we gonna bundle? We have 8 right now. How many more do we need to bundle? Can you circle it? We've got 8. And then, what's going to get our bundle? 8 and 2, of course. 8 and 2 are going to make what number? 10 ones, which we know is our magic number to bundle. So make sure, my friends, you circled your 8 as well as your 2 ones to make that 10. And then, what did this bundle make? 110, of course, a larger unit. Good job. When we added our ones up, what did we get, super scholars? 8 plus 7. What new unit did we make? 110. And we need to show that 110 along in the tens place. So when we made 110, how many ones did we have left over? What do you see? How many ones are left? There are 5 ones left over. So 8 plus 7 was 15. 110 and 5 ones. I also know that, super scholars, with my doubles plus 1 skills. 7 plus 7 is 14. 7 plus 8 is 1 more. So that's 15. Your math facts are everywhere. Okay. So now that we added our ones, what do we add next? The tens, of course. We go right next door to the tens. How many do we got? 3 plus 5 plus 1. So 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 plus 3 is Good job. You can group these tens in different ways. You can go 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 5 is 9, or like we did first, 5 plus 1 is 6, plus 3 is 9. It's whatever works in that big brain of yours, as long as you're working to be independent. Okay, so we added the tens together. What do we look at next? We have to check out the hundreds. Did we add any hundreds in this number? Were we adding hundreds? No, we weren't. We only have how many hundreds right now? We still just have 100. We started with 1 and we didn't end up adding anything. So we still just have 1, Super Scholars. You're just going to show it's still part of your final answer. We still have 100. So, what is our total final answer? 195. Congratulations, Super Scholars, for all your awesome work adding those 3-digit numbers as we build up our skills. So now that we've practiced some solid work all together, it of course is your turn to show me what you know. You're going to be using a very similar worksheet to yesterday, but solving a problem with 3 digits. So let's see. Okay, this is what we're looking at. You're going to solve the problem 135 plus 46. You have a guide right here for your vertical way. You need to be extra careful of which number goes in the hundreds, tens, and ones place. Remember, the same value needs to go in the same rows. So you're going to set up this problem in the vertical way and then start solving on your drawing. Just like we've been practicing, we start with the ones. You're going to bundle what you need to add the tens and then add the hundreds. So you're going to show your knowledge in the same skill from yesterday, just paying extra close attention that you now have a 3-digit number. So overall, your job to solve is to circle 10 ones to make a larger unit and write the vertical way. You're going to solve with your drawing and bundling and then show what that looks like in the vertical way as well. Okay, Super Scholars, thank you so much for being such great mathematicians. So let's go ahead, get bundling and adding, and show me what you know.